Hi, all. Welcome to the Comic Con India Pop Culture Forum 2020, the digital edition, brought to you by Maruti Suzuki Arena. As some of you may know, our Pop Culture Forum is a B2B conference which talks about the business of pop culture, be it comics, publishing at large, gaming, retail, merchandising, and more. And as part of the forum, we also have our annual Comic Con India Industry Awards, which celebrate the very best of comics and pop culture in the country. Although this is a live event which usually happens every year with an invite only audience, because of the pandemic, it's given us an opportunity to take it digital. And thanks to our partners in Maruti Suzuki Arena, we will now be bringing you all the panels featuring some of the best talent in the industry on our social media channels. So as you scroll through the playlist, you'll see many other panels online. And you'll also get to see interactions with the winners this year, which is pretty exciting for us as well. So as we start off this brand new experiment with PCF, it only made sense to kind of start off in a very big way, which is with the biggest panel that we could host. And the biggest thing that is happening in Indian comics this year, one of the biggest things, is the 40th anniversary of Tinkle magazine. As many of you may already know, Tinkle is one of the most beloved comic magazines out there. They've been there, like I said, for 40 years. Started back in 1980 by Anant Pai, as we all know, knew him as our Uncle Pai. It's something that everyone grew up on. I know I did. Over the years, its staple of characters such as Pandi, Shikari, Shambhu have become pop culture idioms, for us to just talk about it. And over the years, the characters, the melee of characters have also increased from defective detectives to Wing Star and many more. To talk more about the 40 years of Tinkle, I'll have the editor-in-chief, Rajni Thindiat, and the group art director, Savio Mascarenas, joining me shortly. But thank you all for joining in. And this is the first panel of the Pop Culture Forum 2020, brought to you by Maruti Suzuki Arena. And we're super excited. I hope you enjoy all the panels. And let's start off. Thank you both for joining me for the first panel of Pop Culture Forum this year, the digital edition. It is about Tinkle, which both of you obviously are well versed in and are in love with. It's the 40th anniversary this year. I actually forgot about it till I saw it on social media and I saw the Shikari Shambhu anniversary as well. Before we get to the 40 years, how is Tinkle doing in this pandemic? How are you guys putting out new content? What's going on?
So I think we are doing splendidly simply because the pandemic or the lockdown didn't seem to have affected us. I think it was on March 16 that we decided to switch to working from home. That was the closing of our last issue. And we have been working non-stop since that time. So no difference. The only difference was we took the call to go digital. And that was even when we had print issues, we thought children should get their issues at least on the app. And then the call to go digital formally took place. Yeah, so going well. Sav, you want to add?
Yeah. In fact, the transition happened without us much, even feeling that thing. Because at the back of our mind, we were just thinking, okay, we'll come back to office and we'll continue working. So we had taken the few things that we really needed, like, the files that we were working on, because that issue had to go for print in a few days. So we thought, okay, fine, we'll work from home. And that's what it. So the transition was like, for us, it happened very fast, but we were not shaken up at that point. And so we continued working. We closed one issue and then we closed the next issue. And since then, we have closed almost like 7 or 8 issues of Tinkle. And most of them, now all of them are out on our on the app and in the digital format. That's the thing.
Okay. So coming to the 40th anniversary now, so what did you guys have planned for this year? Has that been very massively affected by this pandemic?
Not massively affected because I think we started our celebrations right from January. So we're treating this as the 40th year. So the cover especially had 40 hidden somewhere inside. Yeah. So that was going on. We were giving these jigsaw pieces. So that stopped, okay, because that in the print edition, you could cut and keep it. Okay. So now we have other plans to do with the jigsaw. Maybe we'll unveil the full jigsaw during the anniversary. There is another plan in the offing for the anniversary, but it's too soon to talk about it. So the anniversary edition is very much on, and I see it as landmark, especially in this year, because so many changes happening. And I don't think anyone's going to forget this 40th.
I think everything is going to be part of history now for this year.
Yes,
Yeah.
post-COVID, pre-COVID.
Yeah, 2020 is going to be special in that sense. It's like a turning point for a lot of things, like the way we have approached Tinkle as a magazine and going digital for this past few months now. So it's been epic in that sense. Like for us, we have not seen the printed Tinkle, and for me especially, I've we've been grown up with Tinkle, and
Yeah.
we're always looking forward to a printed version of the magazine. So in that sense, this is, I guess, a big change in one way.
Tell me something. When is the actual month? When was the month that it launched? What month was it?
If I'm not mistaken, it's either November or December. There was a ceremony in November, and I think the issue came out in December, something
December.
like that. Yeah.
Okay. So December would basically be hitting the 40th mark.
Yeah, but since November 14th was the launch officially with Elena de Lima, we consider that as the
Okay.
starting period. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll go back a bit. I'll start with you, Savio. So how did you end up at Tinkle, and what made you join Tinkle? I mean, you've been with Tinkle for a very long time. So I wanted to
Yes.
kind of get to it before I get to the 40th anniversary more in depth.
So my journey with Tinkle, I guess, starts from 1980, and that's when I was 10 years old. And growing up with Tinkle, reading reading Amar Chitrakatha and Tinkle, which was like a staple diet for us. So I was not much into mixed drawing as such. Of course, reading was there. So graduated and in commerce, data post graduate advertising, and I happened to see an ad in a newspaper saying that they wanted an illustrator for Tinkle. So I used to draw these little cartoons then, right around 91, when I approached the office, the Tinkle office, and I showed them my cartoons. So they liked it, and at that time, Mr. Pai didn't meet me. So he said, "Oh, these cartoons are good. We'll pay him $50 per cartoon, and he can continue giving us freelance illustrations and cartoons." So I continued as a freelancer for a couple of years, and by then Reena was also the editor, associate editor at that time, and so I got a lot of encouragement from Reena as since I was not a trained comic book artist, I had to learn a lot along that time, and so after those small cartoons, I started doing single page comics, and then went on to doing larger, longer stories. So that was my initial 3 years of working as a freelancer. And then in '94, that's when Mr. Pai asked me, what do you do these days? So I said I work as a copywriter in an ad agency, and I freelance as a comic book artist. So he asked me what do you like better of these two? So I said I think I like to draw more. So he said, okay, fine. So why don't you join us as a comic book artist? And that was it. So I joined in January, and since then it's been a long, long journey as a comic book artist for Tinkle, growing, looking after everything that we have come up with in this past so many years, and then along the way, Amar Chitrakatha too. So now at present, I'm looking at all the affairs related to Tinkle and Image. So so that has been my journey of 26 years.
26 years. That's quite a long time. Rajni, how about you? How was your connect with Tinkle, and when did you start off?
I think like all of us, I used to read Tinkle as a kid.
Yeah.
So I didn't dream in my wildest dreams that I would end up working over here. So I think in my case, it was a case of I knew what all I didn't want to do in my career. And I ended up trying lots of things, psychology and animation and God knows what all, journalism. And then finally, like Savio, there was an ad in the newspaper. Actually, it was for a research editor for Amar Chitrakatha. But my sister said, apply kar le, you don't know whether you would, manage it. So I sent the application. 6 months later, Luis Fernandez was then the editor, called me and asked me to send a Shambhu story. And he liked the story, called me over for an interview, and that was a rigmarole because I arrived early. Luis had not. I ended up meeting Mr. Pai, Samir Patil, and also Padmini Mirchandani before I met Luis. So it was quite an interesting journey because I think when I was working also, I had realized I liked writing stories a lot, original content. But there is no space in India for someone who gives you a monthly salary for writing original fiction.
True.
So, and I was looking for something regular like that. So, this was the perfect fit, and it was actually my ideal job.
So, both of you been there for a very long time. What this is a question for both of you, and you can decide who should go first. But what makes Tinkle so timeless? The fact that it lasted 40 years and it still continues to attract kids, and not just kids, but I mean, I know for a fact as an adult, I read Tinkle as well. Not as much as I used to, but I do. So, what makes it so timeless?
Sam, you want to go first?
Uh, you know, it has been timeless for me. I would say the characters which make Tinkle. Like when I started reading, Supandi and Shambhu were the two most popular characters. And going ahead, even today, if you talk to someone, they'll always remember the characters in Tinkle. And they would say, like, they would always start with Supandi and Shambhu. And now the new generations will talk about the new characters that we have. So I guess that's been one part of Tinkle where, the characters have been so popular and it's been part of everyone's life growing up. The other part is about the stories, like the way Tinkle has handled storytelling. And over the years, I remember Mr. Pai telling us, like, keep a story very, very simple. You have to understand what the child likes, not about what we would want to draw, not about what we want to write. It's about what would the child like to read. So I guess, and that is something which we have followed over the years, simplicity in the story, and there's something about it that it's so different that a child would want to read more, and that has been a big challenge for us, to just keep the child interested, and we have been quite successful in that sense. So I guess for me, these two things are the main, the characters and of course the storytelling, which makes Tinkle stand apart from any other comic that we would have in India.
Okay, for me, I think I take a leaf from Uncle Pai's book again. I think he used to love talking to children, right? So, and children end up calling Tinkle their friend. And there's a reason for that because Tinkle talks in their language and it's very, very relatable right from the time 1980s to now. So when I remember when I took over as the editor, there were a lot of changes that we made in updating characters and bringing in new women characters and so on and so forth. But the guiding light was always this: talk to children, that feedback, talking to children, being connected. What is the child of today? What is important? What is interesting to them? And giving them that in a story form. So the moment they're reading a Tinkle story, it is like their story. And it is written in a very fun and funny way. So it is relatable. And like Savio said, some of the characters are evergreen and enduring. So that has not changed. And we have the entire relatability factor comes in that when we are coming out with new characters also, they are also in keeping with what you want. Like superheroes were in demand, horror was demanded, so Dental Diaries. So these were all experiments. And I think one thing that Uncle Pai and his team did, and we continue to do, is experiment. We keep trying new things. Anything that we figure out that the child doesn't like, we fade out. And then there's a time for the next experiment. So we have a lot of fun doing this. So I think I think what works is everyone who works for Tinkle is a child at heart. We are pretty much a prankster kind of a team. So it helps in, relating to the child at that level when you're a child yourself.
It's funny. You've kind of answered my next question. Because 10 years back, I think I've known you both for about 10 years. It'll be 10 years of Comic Con this year. And the first set of people that I tried to get in touch with when I was trying to do the first show was people at Amar Chitrakatha and Tinkle. And I never got to meet Uncle Pai, but I only got to speak to him on the phone, which was pretty exciting. But I was worried about, you like something so much, and then will you be feeling the same way when you meet the people behind it? Because, there's a difference between the product and also the people who are putting it out. And there's a lot of things that go to it. So you're a little apprehensive. But when I met everyone, met you guys and everyone else there, it was basically whatever I felt for the magazine was coming from you guys as well. It was very authentic, very genuine. And I guess that has been something that not Mr. Pai and everyone has over the years kind of ingrained into whoever joins Tinkle, I think. So, I mean, I know you guys have talked about experimenting, but as now the editor, Rajni, how do you keep that tradition true to its roots? How do you continue it, with as Tinkle progresses and new people join you and their new ideas and things?
I think something you said is actually right. I think the interview process itself, when you're looking for someone to join the team, there are certain things that you look for because not we spend 9 months to a year looking for one sub editor if they leave.
Okay.
So it is that taxing. It's not as if we are looking for degrees or anything like that. One is that spark of storytelling, which actually most people don't have. So having that spark that that you can train them. Second is that there is something in your core that resonates when you meet people that this person is going to fit into the team. So I think that has been tradition, like you said, from Uncle Pie's time. There are certain, if you meet I think the team at large, whether Amar Chitrakatha or Tinkle, we are a certain kind of people. So I think it's the birds of a feather flocking together. So that happens, and I think the same sort of mindset continues, in which it helps because when I took over as the editor, it was a little scary because I was actually planning to overhaul the entire thing. But when you have a very strong skeletal structure, then like Samir once told him, we were really scared about adding horror in Tinkle, for example, with Dental Diaries. It was comic horror. There was a big debate among the team. And then Samir said, you know what, Tinkle has been around for a long time. It's not going to get broken so soon. You try experimenting, doesn't work, pull back. It's fine. So that has been my mantra for editing. Try something because honestly, that if I get frozen because of indecision, I'd be just sitting and doing what Uncle Pai did and not connecting with the child of this millennium.
Yeah. No, that's true. That actually leads me to the next question, and this is for both of you, and I'll start with you, Savio. So obviously, Tinkle has been evolving over the years. I used to read it in the 90s, and I grew up on a certain set of characters and stories, and then obviously kids growing up now grow up in a very different way. They don't consume books the same way, and they're not reading as much, at least that's what I feel. But at the same time, you have to kind of tweak the content to keep it relevant. And I think that also applies to not just the written content, but the artwork as well. So Savi, how do you come up with, updating the characters which have been timeless without it losing the original charm, and, also at the same time kind of showcasing something which is new, keeping it fresh?
This is something which Tinkle has, the transition of the art style for Tinkle has happened so smoothly. It's been over the years that, for example, a character like Supandi, which was done by Ram Vayarkar, and then later on by Sanjeev Vayarkar, his son, and then Archana Vayarkar. So that transition of character, even though Supandi was created by Ram Vayarkar, it looked very different from what Archana does today. Or same with a character like Shambhu, which was done by Mr. Halve, and which I had to do it later on. So, the transition was for us, it was like a big challenge at that point to maintain the originality of the character and write again, see that, the child today also accepts the character in that same sense. So, so that has been one thing where we have paid extra attention to the art, where we have paid extra attention to the details. Like I remember looking at Halve's artwork a lot, because the way he used to draw Shambhu, and when it came to me, I had to actually see how he draws forests, how he draws the animals. So I had to pay that extra attention to, not miss any of those details about how these characters were drawn. And that is something which Tinkle has, maintained over the years. So that, as far as these popular characters were concerned, they were they were well researched, they were well practiced by all the artists who did them. And over the years, it has been a smooth transition. And as far as the art for new characters are concerned, so they have been very contemporary. So comic book, if you look at, the transition of comics from the way they used to be drawn in the 80s, 90s, and if you look at the panel styles today, there's a vast difference in that. So again, artists have evolved in their styles of drawings and the styles of paneling, and of course computers came in. So that opened up a completely new world for them, like for the colorists, for the letterists, And so that thing was like, for us it was a challenge, because earlier I remember when we used to draw on paper, and also the coloring and lettering, everything was done on paper. We had a limited palette. So like a color palette of 26 colors was what we had to follow. So this was in the 90s when comics were done. We had only 26 colors to choose and color our artworks. So when computers came in 2000, it was like a boom for the coloring artists and the lettering artists. But we said, like, we need to draw the line. Let's not get overwhelmed by too much of, like, Tinkle still has to be what it used to be, because children were very used to that, and the transition happened very slowly. Like, we didn't go all out with being very very vibrant in colors and all that stuff. So it was like a very very like a step by step transition for the coloring artists, for the lettering artists, for the illustrators. A lot of us were struggling at that point because we were all drawing on paper. Then we moved on to drawing on the digital pads. So that all happened in years. So for us it was like a huge thing, but we did it keeping in mind that the child should not get disappointed about what is this new thing which has come in front of them. So as far as the art is concerned, as far as the paneling styles and everything in coloring is concerned, Tinkle has evolved over the years, and we still find ourselves in that stage of what is best suited for the child is what we would give. So we pay that sort of attention to when it comes to art.
Okay. Rajni, for you, how do you obviously keep the content relevant, and is there a process that you follow when you want to launch a new character?
There is a kind of process that is evolved over time. So, like I said, we follow what Uncle Pai did. We talk to children a lot, whether it's on mails or it is. We have formed a Tinkle squad, a community of Tinkle readers or workshops. So, all for feedback is collated, and then we realize that which particular genre is missing. Like, for example, if you want a superhero or you want to show diversity, so you want to place it in Kerala or in Mizoram or things like that. So once that is done, we try to figure out in terms of the basic things. I think this is a learning from international comics. So when you're reading them, you understand how thought through the world is in terms of friends, enemies, powers, weaknesses, and things like that. So it becomes an entire world. You build it ground up. And I don't think we have stopped introducing characters for the heck of it. ये साल में नया character introduce करना है. Usually it is because someone has asked for a superhero, that happened. Someone asked for a horror, comic horror, dental happened. Then there was, I think, Anurag. He came up with this idea कि yoga based कुछ होना चाहिए. तो योग योद्धास बना. Then we thought hostel and boarding school is missing. So noise happened. So I think what happens is, because you have this finger to the pulse of your readers, when we are presenting this, they are loving it. It's very, very rare that, a character has not worked. And like I said, we normally phase out. And to add to something Savio said, in terms of art and design, especially in terms of paneling, the kind of paneling that's followed now. So the scriptwriters and I think artists all vying with each other to figure out, vertical shots or splash panels or whatever. So it's lots of fun because kids end up telling us a lot of times that this is like watching a 10-minute movie. So that can't be higher than that,
So something I picked up on, over the many years, what has been that character that didn't work and you thought it would work a lot? What series?
With series. So I think this was a series called, there were multiple characters over the years. Like, for example, Kalia the Crow. Now, I used to love Kalia the Crow as a kid, but over the years, I have been hearing it's boring. And why doesn't Kalia allow Chamataka to eat? Which is a very, very logical question. So that is why we did an entire reboot and made it into Big Bang last year, which actually created a lot of interest. So that is happening. So Kalia in the original form is not there.
That's surprising though, because I love Doob Doob. I mean, that was such an amazing name.
Yeah. So that's exactly it. So in Big Bang, instead of Kalia, Doob Doob is a more focal character because kids tend to love Doob Doob.
Yeah.
So that is just one example of, how you tweak things or you fade away things.
True. So, okay, switching gears for a bit. Obviously, you guys are constantly writing and making new comics for kids. What do you personally read and like? What is some of the best things that you have on your shelf, and something that you go back to? Some of your favorite comics. I'll start with you, Savio. I see Mouse right next to you. So,
Oh yeah, yes.
so what are some of your favorite comics that you have collected and really liked and look forward to?
Well, to start off with, I guess for me, growing up, it was Indrajal Comics and Phantom and Mandrake, and of course Bahadur. So these were the three characters who first, influenced me a lot as far as comic books are concerned. And again, coming to they were like it's so different in this. They were not like the superhero type of people as such. Phantom is not a superhero, or Mandrake is all about magic, and Bahadur is just being strong and brave, and Bahadur, of course. So for me, that was what it all meant. And of course, Tarzan along the way. I used to read Tarzan comics at that point. So for me, I guess my core influence of comics come from these three comics from Intelligent Comics. And later on, there have been a lot of influences as such. Mad has been a very huge influence for me, and there's a particular artist called Sergio Aragonés.
Oh yeah.
Uh, you have met him, I guess.
Yeah, I have. Met him about 8 years back. I mean, I got to say hi to him, and I tried to invite him to India, but he said I've already been there once, and I'm too old to travel. So
So Sergio has been for me, if I would say, the way I started off with drawing those little cartoons, Sergio is like the king of
yeah,
cartoons. So I used to follow him. I still follow a lot of his work. I've got those little books that you get, the Mad collections of his cartoons. So Sergio has been a huge influence, and Maru Miranda, of course, has been
yeah,
another big influence for me growing up. Maru Miranda and R.K. Lakshman. Because I
great.
used to see a lot of their works. And Maru Miranda, I still remember in our school books, in our textbooks, which we had, they had Maru Miranda's illustrations. And of course, R.K. Lakshman because of the Times of India.
Yeah,
So I used to see a lot of these drawings, and somewhere along the line, there was Jungle Book. Now, this is the old Jungle Book which had come up in a comic book form, and this was brought up by Gold Spot. And Gold Spot, the cold drink, under the cap, you had this little character drawing just there inside. So I used to copy a lot of those drawings. So it was mainly a lot of influences which came from different places. And along the years, of course, it was looking at these master artists, picking up from them, and of course, Vayakar and Halve. They have been a huge influence with Amar Chitrakatham. There was one particular artist I would like to mention in Amar Chitrakatham. His name is Jeffrey Fowler. I don't know how many of Amar Chitrakatham readers would remember him, but Jeffrey Fowler had a very distinctive style of illustrations. If you look at the titles like Panchatantra, the Jatak Tales, and the Hitopadesh, so you'll find Jeffrey Fowler's work in it. So I used to like his drawings a lot. I used to practice looking at his drawings, and it was very similar to Asterix and how Asterix and Tintin were. So along the way, so the transition of an artist is along the way you pick up a lot from different places. So growing up, it's been picking up from different artists from Ajit Nainan, his very popular character called Detective Bhujwala.
yeah,
So that has been another big, huge influence for me growing up. Again, the style of his characters and the way his panel styles were in Target Comics, I guess. So for me, it's been influenced from a lot of places. So I can't pinpoint say one thing, but I guess there are multiple sources for me.
great.
So,
And what about you, Rajni?
So currently what I'm reading influence-wise Amar Chitrakatha, because I think because of Amar Chitrakatha, I was spoiled for life. For me, it was all fantasy or humor, nothing in between. So even now when I'm reading, it is Calvin and Hobbes is up there with Asterix in terms of, I also like the series Bone that came
Yeah,
out. I
yeah,
really love that. And in terms of comics that blew my mind was Watchmen, especially Dr. Manhattan. Simply in terms of, what you can do with comics and what, simply, I'm a reader, bookworm. So even if you give me a comics, unfortunately, I tend to look at the text. Uh, so that was, I think, I've not read another comic where it's the writer came out so much in the comic itself. Maybe because I'm a writer, so it's that perspective.
No,
But yeah,
in fact, I think I don't know if you've seen the TV series that recently came out. So
no, it's on my wish list.
yeah, it's actually it keeps the tradition of that really strong writing and continues. And I mean, it's amazingly done. If there had to be a sequel to that book, that series would probably be the sequel.
I'll watch that. And there is one more, Fables, that's come out. That is fabulous. I was not too taken with it initially, but as you go on, that world is fantastic.
It is for sure. So I'll come to my last question, both of you. So what's next for the next 40 years for Tinkle? Where do you see the magazine going? And 40 is a very long time to see ahead, but where do you see this decade? I mean, now we're starting off something on a very different note. So where do you see Tinkle going in the next few years?
For me, it is like, growing up with Tinkle and Amar Chitrakatha as a child. And now that my children grew up, they started reading Tinkle and Amar Chitrakatha. And I'm sure when they grow up, they'll be passing on the legacy to their kids. So this is where I see Tinkle and Amar Chitrakatha going ahead, where it's going to be a legacy. It's going to be something that you pass down to the generation to come. And this is so true, because it stands so true for families who have read Amar Chitrakatha growing up, who have read Tinkle growing up, and then they want their children to read it. So I see it's more like what the position that we hold is that something that the generations will like going ahead. So 40 years down the line, it will be just another family talking about Tinkle and Amar Chitrakatha.
Nice. How about you, Rajni?
So I came across this term and it stuck in my head. It's called platform agnostic. So I think with lockdown, what we discovered was we are truly platform agnostic. It didn't matter what came next, which maybe tomorrow you'll have holograms for all you know. But I think the essence of Tinkle, that where learning meets fun and that friend that Savio said, that forms, that remains constant. And with this digitization, we've also discovered lots of different ways of connecting with children, So there are integrated videos and there are quizzes, and we are developing properties. There are children's content that is coming up on the app. So actually, I think this is a dream that I think Uncle Pai would have had, where it was not just about him telling a story, but it was about children telling him stories as well.
Okay.
So not just to publish in Tinkle, but now you have a platform on the app where we actually invite kids. If you have a story, if you have It Happened to Me, if you remember, that's such a popular thing. We actually have It Happened to Me videos, and kids are so animated because kids of today are so tech savvy, right? And they're so aware. And I don't think I was so confident at that age. So I think we have realized, and I think what happens is most of us sort of dismiss the new generation as brats. They're not brats. They are exposed to a world. They have so much to offer. I think they just get impatient with us when we don't keep in touch, in step with them. So I think the only struggle we'll have is to make sure that we are in step with kids in the future, that there is no talking down to them, that you still relate to them as friends. And your characters, your stories, your art all says that. And I think we'll be rocking for the next 40 or even 400 if you're still around.
For sure, I'm sure. Thank you so much for taking out the time to speak with me and doing this panel. It's the 40th anniversary of Tinkle. This should be exciting. And right now, people, I guess, can also download the Tinkle app and read the comics there as well, right?
Yes, definitely. I hope they get onto the bandwagon.
Perfect. Great. Thank you both. And I hope to see you soon at a Comic Con.
Yes, it was an absolute pleasure, Jatin.
Thank you.
It was nice talking to each other.
Thanks. Okay, that was Rajni and Savio from Tinkle magazine, talking about the 40th anniversary of Tinkle and the 40 years of the magazine. That was a lot of fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Please share your memories and favorite things from Tinkle characters in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. And please check out the other panels on this playlist. We hope you enjoy the digital edition of Pop Culture Forum, brought to you by Maruti Suzuki Arena. We'll see you soon.
The new Vitara Brezza with a powerful 1.5-litre petrol engine.
Wow! Congrats, Papa! Yara, see? I also want stars.
Wishes are like little stars drifting away into the sky. I'll make you smile. I'll make you shine. Your every
Stars!
desire.
See every desire come true with the new Desire.